But the one that I think that has stuck with me that's worth telling in this format is my airborne assassin thing. The one that stuck with me and kind of shaped my philosophy on do I want my kids to go do the same thing I did type of stuff. When you're flying around in Afghanistan, you're doing on-call close air support, XCAS. So you're tasked to be ready when somebody wants to go shoot something or blow something up. And I was tasked on this particular day to hit a high-value, time-sensitive target. I was, interestingly, one of the things that happens in the A-10C model is it's so comm capable that you would get the same message from 5 motherfuckers. Like, you've responded to the first guy loud and clear. I'm on my way. I'm doing it. And then you get this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy on a different pathway into your cockpit. Yep. And I'm like, I am trying to talk to the JTAC now. Everybody cease buzzer, knock it off. Let me go do my thing. I've already said I'm on my way. So that was one of the frustrations of the C model is they haven't figured out the standards. Who's the guy that's going to say it? Everybody, like ops wants to call, send you a chat. The KAC wants to send you a chat. The KAC wants to send you a SATCOM message. The KAC wants to send it over data link, with a 9-line assignment. And I'm like, I cannot stop pushing buttons to go do my job now.
Right. Stop. Shut up.
Did that happen to F-16?
No. My first drop was off a SMAC tasking data link message, but boom, popped up, acknowledged it, away we went.
Yeah.
But I could absolutely see that where like, hey, you got the AWACS trying to call you. It'd be tough. We do SATCOM back to ops, but that was only like, hey, we're checking back in. We're 30 minutes out. We've expended X, right? Give maintenance heads up. So I think it's pretty good, but
okay.
Yeah, I could see it. I was like usually you're doing it and hey, why don't we make fun of AWACS here? Why not? Right. But that's like, they're 15 minutes late to the fight. You're like, hey man, yeah, I've already got this. So yeah. I could see that, but
yeah. So anyways, I get, tasked
you guys got more radios. Like how you got like
5 radios.
Yeah. Okay. We got 2. I mean, you can switch what you're on, but so like,
yeah.
Limited.
2 ARC 210s that are multi-mode,
I
think. And, SATCOM and a VHF and FM. Yeah.
So just one R210 for the old C model. Maybe it's changed since left, but you gotta pick them up.
I might be a little bit off. Hey, whenever I say anything that's wrong, guys, the last time I flew an A-10 was 10 years ago, so relax.
Rain's an idiot. We got 9 ARC 210s now. We can do whatever we want. Like, well, not my day. So
yeah. Even if my day was not what I just said it was, I didn't do that intentional.
Also valid.
Hubcapped again. Back at it. I get tasked to go investigate. I guess the decision hasn't been made yet, but they think they've located a high-value target. And as I'm getting closer, it's developing where I get more data that they've decided to accept. I'm not going to use technical terms here, so I'm not approaching problem comms here, but they've decided to accept a higher level of civilian casualties in this strike. Me and my wingman, I'm the lead for the day, are going in, and again, there's going to be details on this that are a little bit wrong. I would like to get my mission reports so that I could refresh my details and get the data right. But this is what I remember in my own mind. They have ISR in the stack that has not burned the target. The target is collecting with his family and a couple of bodyguards under a tree next to this building. I've found the place. I'm offset. I'm getting data from the JTAC, and we hear a go, and it's plus a big number. Well, it's plus 9. So it's this guy plus 9 is acceptable. And I'm like, all right, I got the target in sight, and I'm talking real time with whoever's controlling this thing. I'm not sure if it's a lower level JTAC, or if it's like a a CO in a talk that's running this. I don't know if it's a fusion cell, but the nearest friendlies are 70 clicks. It's in some northeast Afghanistan valley that is of no consequence to anyone. But they've located this guy. They go +9 on SIBCAS, and the word is go. And the word go happens when we split tankers, and I'm on board. I'm the guy. So 2 has gone to the tanker to refuel. So I'm doing gun run, and I do 2 passes. I put about 500 rounds of HEI on this group of people sitting around underneath a tree eating lunch. And then they're like, good hits. I need BDA. So we loiter. I go get gas. I come back, and the whole village has come out. And so now I'm watching them take all the bodies out. So I'm counting the bodies, and we got 13, 14, 15, 16 bodies coming out. They're supposed to, their culture has kind of a requirement to bury people same day. So to manage the bodies. And so it was surprising to see just how much we didn't have 100% fidelity on slant count, but we knew that the high value target was in that location. So success on the high value target no longer being there, but at what cost and for what reason? For me, just being the guy pulling the trigger and then being asked to stick around and watch the aftermath has never left me. And I never got a good intel debrief scrub to say, this is the guy, this was the process that we made the strike authority decision. And there's no way that I've been put at ease countering the thought that maybe it was some special operations group or some big green group that has just been bored lately and needs some action, because there was nothing going on. And for me to go out and do this for a time sensitive thing, I've got no background. So I call that one the airborne assassin role, because it was just like, I'm going to do what I'm asked. I'm here to do my job. I'm going to do it the best I can. I'm going to execute the tactics that I've been taught. I'm going to use the tool that is now available by my hand to execute a lawful order from the people who are telling me what to do. I've got to do that. I'm not going to say I would do it differently again if I had it to do again next time. But at some point, I hope that there's a way to clear the air for guys like me. I know there's a bunch of guys that executed airborne assassin stuff, especially Predator Reaper guys in a container. You know, they have no insight. They probably have more insight because they've got kind of a static intel fusion setup in there. But what was the buildup? What's the intel pathway? What was the chain of knowledge that got this strike to happen, where I got one bad guy and 12 or 13 friends and family? You know, I don't know. I'd like to see if there's a Freedom of Information Act pathway for us to declassify mission reports and develop an understanding of some of the buildup to a lot of these missions. And I think that may be available. Maybe it's not. If there's no pathway, maybe we could build one.
It'd be interesting to see. It obviously, I think, would lend to a can of worms. I've wondered that myself. I'm sure everyone kind of have done the stuff we've done, a similar feeling and thought when even just a simple parallel of swatting, right? How often you see on the news now where someone gets swatted and they're just playing a video game, wherever they're in their house, and someone called in the police and their house gets raided. You're like, you know, that guy in Village X hated a guy in Village Y and undoubtedly passed intel at some point that someone was not guilty of.
Yeah.
But then our role, man, it's like your job is to be the kinetic end of this story.
Yep. I'm the trigger puller. Yeah.
So, yeah, do you get a right to know that? I don't know. And I also think which the withdrawal from Afghanistan, obviously that's a whole thing in itself, but prominent from that, where the Abbey Gate bomber, which I think they just brought one guy back yesterday, the drone strike they did shortly thereafter, right? And it came out, innocent guy and a bunch of innocent civilians that got killed by this drone strike as a retaliation for the Abbey Gate.
Yeah.
And then
makes you question the cleanliness of the process.
Yeah. And we're talking about if it's at that level and that much visibility, everything that else is able to be brushed under the rug or just fall into the abyss just based on how big the system and the machine is.
Yeah. I mean, we were taught growing up as our teenagers looking at, hey, let's be a fighter pilot. It's going to be all glamorous and awesome. And you don't really get the story about what you're carrying around with you after you go do it.
Yeah.
You don't get that. So,
yeah. There's more to it than just flying fast jets.
Hey, don't get me wrong. We kick ass. We did some badass shit, brother. But at the same time, we've got the other end of it where, that's the price of doing business.
Yeah, whole package.